Всем хай. Мы играем в Vampyr. Так, в этот раз мы займемся моргом. Тупанули. Тупанули, я не знал, что вот так вот оно будет. А то меня взяло из локации и выкинуло. В прошлый раз. И тут нам надо понаходить всякую херобору. Было бы, конечно, неплохо, если бы была нормальная карта помещения. Там, кстати, закрыто. Так, мелочишка. Что-то пока ничего полезного-то мы не нашли. Это печально. Нет, здесь выход с локации. Нам, по идее, вот сюда вот надо. Ой, привет. Привет, товарищ.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Ага. Нехорошо.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Так, а там-то что? Так, патроны. Хера ты в больницу с оружием-то. Зачем? Так, тут нам что-то нужно.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Так, бутылка алкоголя. Вот ж гнида.
It's locked.
Понятно. Там наверху явно что-то есть еще. Ну, как-то не богато. Ладно, значит, пошли в подвал. Блять. Ты что за фокусы?
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Как-то мне это все не нравится совсем. Привет. Так. Угу. Окей. Так, патологоанатом Пембрукской больницы. Отчет расследования. Покойный Сэмюэль Коннор. Раса европеодная, полумужской, возраст 39, домашний адрес неизвестен. Род занятий рыбак, тип смерти, естественная вероятная причина смерти, быстро прогрессирующая пневмония с вирус-индуцированным уплотнением легкого, испанский грипп. Присутствующий на вскрытии доктор Коркран, типец медсестра Гвин Бранаган. Имя и подпись патологоанатома доктор Коркран, типец.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked, all right.
Ох ты ж гнида-то такая. Так.
It's locked.
Так. Очень, блядь, любопытно. Так, братишка.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Так.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Так, тут что-нибудь интересное есть. Еще один загадочный рецепт. Так, ага. Тут вроде уже развлекались, как могли. Блять, я ж тебя убил. Ну ладно. Интересно это все, конечно. Так, наверное, мне нужно выйти отсюда. Есть у меня такое подозрение.
Over there! He's done!
Так, почему-то мне кажется, что мне надо просто вернуться туда. Прям, знаете, что-то мне так кажется. Так, в чем, блин, прикол? Я не понимаю, куда мне идти. Ой, вот такие штуки я очень не люблю.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving...
No,
You've nothing to prove.
I am perfect.
Ладно, понятно.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr.
Чё ты
Reed.
красавец.
I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell.
Да ладно, нормально у тебя всё с
Right
лицом.
off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Так, окей.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Окей.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Хуя приколисты.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Окей.
Why do you feel...
I wasn't it.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Так, ясно, понятно.
I cannot enter.
Not now. Please come back later.
Ну ладно.
It's locked, all right.
Вообще не понимаю, что от меня хотят, честно говоря.
The flower's dying. It needs water. It's locked.
Текс. Я все-таки продолжаю искать. Вдруг что найду.
Situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your
Может, сюда опять? Ой, тоже такое себе. Я очень не люблю такие ситуации, когда непонятно, что от меня хотят вообще. Надо было просто посмотреть.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Опаньки.
It's locked, all right.
Так, подожди. Есть, мне кажется, еще один момент. Так, нам надо вот сюдыть. Потом, видимо, куда-то вот туда. Ох, набегались-то. Набегались. Кому бы она нахрен надо, это ваша Тельма? Давайте посмотрим.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then
Так, что тут не так? весело-то, а. Так. Что-то я не догоняю. Ладно, в другой раз мы этим займемся, потому что, ну, блять, что-то какая-то херь. Что-то какая-то херь. Привет.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett's.
Ладно.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Perhaps I should have considered. The offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Где он есть-то? Блять, вот тоже неудобно.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Где он, сука, есть этот дед? Здорово.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
А как тебе сказать-то?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
Окей.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Ладно.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippets, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Окей.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippets.
Интересно.
I wonder why the Cosmic's came here in the first place.
Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Ага. С каким?
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Текс.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Чем ты клянешься?
Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Это все, конечно, прекрасно, но мы, я думаю, вот в следующий раз этим займемся. Давайте я схожу хотя бы поспрашаю, что ей надо. А там уже посмотрим. Заодно, кстати.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
Okay.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. I really...
Too hard. You don't have to bear the burdens of this hospital alone.
Так. Так. Ага. И где она?
In circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Ой, блядь.
As for me,
Кто так строит, сука? Хуй пройдешь куда? Вот заныкалась-то, ёб твою мать. Давай мы с тобой поговорим, и на сегодня, наверное, все. О, привет, это ты, что ли?
I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do
Он
me a
замотан,
kindness
или у
and
него
get some
волосы
sleep.
такие
I'll be
стрёмные?
back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like
Oi.
you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of
Ну, это
extortion.
зря, кстати.
I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Окей.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Окей.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Окей. Короче, я все понял. Нам надо разобраться с шантажистом, с шантажером. Но этим мы опять же в другой раз займемся. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. Всем пока.